Hello again. This time I want to talk to you about Émile Zola, who's on the money, and Valerie Minogue, who's spot on too. Let me explain. Never one to shirk a challenge, the 19th century French novelist and crusader Émile Zola declared his intention to write what became a 20-volume natural and social history of a family under the Second Empire, itself a 20-year phenomenon from the coup d'etat in 1851 to its collapse as a result of the Franco-Prussian War in 1870. Zola planned to follow the fortunes of the Rougon-Macquart family, and their personal good fortune came about as a result of Napoleon III's seizure of power, as Zola related in his first book, The Fortune of the Rougon. Many of these novels have become masterpieces of French literature and well read and respected in translation. Think of Germinal, Thérèse Raquin, La Bête Humaine, L'Œuvre, Au Bonheur des Dames, La Terre, and now L'Argent, Money. But why do I say now when it was published in 1891 and an English translation appeared in 1894? Well, the first translation of Money was by E.A. Vizetelly in 1894, if one ignores some American versions pirated from the serialization in Gil Blas, and all of which have mercifully disappeared without trace. Well, such was the Victorian climate of self-censorship, Vizetelly felt he had to Bowdlerize great parts of the book, or even omit them, and he committed the translator's one crime of reinventing whole passages to bridge the gaps. Essentially, the expurgations were to remove anything that is explicitly sexual. The total surprise to me, who had not read this novel before, is that there had been no translation since Vizetelly, over 100 years ago. We're all in debt, therefore, to Valerie Minogue, Emeritus Professor of French at the University of Wales and current President of the London Émile Zola Society. Chapeau bas, Madame. Money brings back the crooked financier Saccard, who appeared in La Fortune des Rougon, and then changed his name to Saccard in La Curée. A villainous hero, he seems to have fascinated his creator. Saccard has once more been ruined as a result of his shady financial dealings, but completely in self-denial, he says that it will all be different next time. Diminutive in stature, he is perfectly cast as a would-be Napoleon of finance. He has fairly basic sexual appetites and believes he is irresistible. There is no doubting his ability to organize others in pursuit of his goals, but it never seems to occur to him that sharp practice and blatant dishonesty are not desirable. Indeed, his constant justification to Madame Caroline, the novel's heroine, is that everybody else is doing it, so he would be at a competitive disadvantage. The early passages of the book picture Saccard prowling round the outside of the Bourse in streets that are there to this day, seeing the successful brokers going in and enviously watching the curb market trading. He needs a scheme that will allow him to round up subscribers and let him get back into the market again. In the visionary plans of Madame Caroline's brother Amelin for development of the Near East, shipping monopolies, silver mines, railway companies, the Bank of Turkey, Saccard sees the sort of prospectus he needs. As Valerie Minogue writes in her comprehensive introduction, quote, It is Sakhar's energy that produces what he later calls the pickaxe of progress, his universal bank, to sponsor these vast enterprises and at the same time satisfy what seems at times almost a physical, fetishistic need to see heaps of gold and hear their music. His restlessness manifests itself as soon as the universal is launched, and illegality follows illegality." End quote. But Sakhar's motivation to make money is coloured by his rampant anti-Semitism. Zola cannot avoid this issue in a novel of the period, and shows how Sakhar's detestation of the very successful Jewish banker Gundermann undermines his whole enterprise as it drives him to all-or-nothing risks. Nor is Sakhar's sexual appetite ignored. It is desire for the mercenary Baroness Sandorf and the secrets he reveals to her that lead to his final downfall. At a point in the drama, even Madame Caroline, a young widow, succumbs, but finds that her relationship to Sakhar is not enough to deflect him from his goals or to protect her brother, who has been made figurehead chairman of the Universal Bank and then packed off to the Middle East to get the projects going on the ground. The enduring power of the twin forces of greed and fear are shown by Zola as everyone from the vulgarly rich to the classic widows and orphans is caught up in the seeming unstoppable rise of the universal share price. A few are brave enough to take their profit, but the majority lock themselves in and go down in the final ruin. And yet, such is the power of self-delusion. Even when Sakhar is in jail awaiting trial, he still believes he was within an ace of defeating Gundermann, and that all it would have taken was for everyone to hold their nerve and, of course, give him many more millions to throw into the struggle he could never win. Zola writes meaty prose, putting himself into the minds of his various key characters, and describes event, emotions and places in wonderful detail. His research was vast, and his ability to marshal the details to create realism has seldom been equalled. If, as is possible, you have not read Money, now is the time, and this is the edition to put that right. However, Money should be read not just for its exposition of the crooked financial dealers and dealings of that epoch. It is an enduring fable with 21st century relevance. The naivety of politicians who proclaim the end of boom and bust, and the misplaced trust of regulators who went to the same schools as the bankers, ought to mean that Zola's Money should be required reading for all MBA students. Trouble is, for the successors to Sakhar, it might well be read as an instruction manual. Thank you for watching. I look forward to meeting you again soon.